Hey everybody, how's it going? I think for this first video I'm going to show off all the different playable characters that are in this game, Super Mario Bros. X2, which I'm going to do as my next playthrough. To start things simple off is showing off Mario, who plays like you'd expect Mario to play. They got a few differences this time. You'll see this time Mario has the reserve item system from Mario World, and he plays like a hybrid of Mario World, Mario 3, and Mario 2. And there's Toads here is telling me I can switch characters. If I take a hit, I'll lose the power-ups and go back to being small Mario, like in Super Mario World, but then you can drop down the reserve item to power up again. And Mario also holds items out in front of himself. Grab another shell and I'll demonstrate that real fast. You can see he holds the shell out in front like in Mario 3 and Mario World, and then you can just launch it or hold up, and I think you can launch it up, or if you hold down you'll set it down. I used it with a shell here, but it works with every item, including blocks of ice and vegetables from Super Mario 2. And speaking of Super Mario 2, there will be Super Mario 2 enemies that are also lifted up and thrown, and Mario will lift them up and throw them in the same fashion. Mario can also slide down slopes. This is something he couldn't do in Mushroom Kingdom Fusion. I believe Luigi is also capable of doing this. Here we're inside the vault. This is an area you can unlock within a place called the Star Palace in the Invasion. All the power-ups are here, like the fireballs. Regular fire shoots fireballs, and so does alt fire. There's also the ice flower from the new Super Mario series, which shoots snowballs that will freeze enemies. The super leaf is here. It functions like it did in Mario 3, except you can hold the button to float down as though you had the cape from Super Mario World. Same as for flying, you can hold the button down. The Hammer Brothers suit, which lets Mario throw hammers. You can also crouch to block fireballs. And last is the Tanuki suit. It gives Mario flying, and of course, down and alt fire turns him into a statue that becomes invincible to enemy attacks and can defeat enemies. Here we're in the Star Palace with Luigi. You can see I'm actually riding Yoshi. Yoshi is in the game too. You can see I got a purple Yoshi, which does a ground pound if you hit down and jump while you're in the air. Luigi has a higher jump than Mario, but has the slipperier attraction like in the Lost Levels. Although, yeah, in here isn't a good demonstration of that. If I go out here though, you can see he slides more, and if I let go of the controls, it takes him longer to slow down. He has the fireballs, just like Mario. The ice flower works the same, and so do the other power-ups for Luigi. Yeah, there are also different Yoshis. You can see I have this purple Yoshi, but I unlocked this door in the Star Palace. If I go in here, you'll see that there's an ice Yoshi. This one will catch regular enemies and spit them out as blocks of ice. And yeah, other than that, Yoshi functions much like he did in Super Mario World, which is a neat change. And yeah, you'd have more than one different kind of Yoshi at a time. Next we have Peach as a playable character. You might remember, Peach wasn't a playable character in Mushroom Kingdom Fusion, and she plays much like she did in Super Mario 2. Jump makes her jump, and she's the slowest running character. But as you can see, if you jump and then hit jump again while in the air, she does her hover. She can't spin jump, but if you hit the alt jump button and hold it, Peach will jump, and at the height of her jump will begin to hover. So let's look at her power-ups. She gets the fire flower, just like before. You'll notice this Peach also doesn't have the reserve system that Mario and Luigi have, so instead she has 3 hearts for health, and every time you pick up a power-up, you get another heart back. So yeah, you can shoot fireballs just like with that, but if you hold the alt fire button, Peach will hold a fireball up over her head, and then you can throw it upwards. You can also throw it forward like a normal fireball, or throw it straight down if you're in the air. There we go. I mean, why we would need to throw a fireball down, I have no idea. The ice flower changes Peach's dress to this cyan color, and then you shoot ice balls, just like you can with the fireballs. Although, you see there, it has less momentum than the fireball. The Super Leaf gives you longer floating, and you can fly if you get a running start. And you can float down. I believe the Tanuki suit does the same thing. You can float longer and float down, and you can turn into a statue. And the Hammer Brothers suit gives Peach the ability to throw these grenade-like bombs that will impact at the ground. With Alt Fire, you can throw them up as well. Peach cannot ride Yoshi. Instead, if you find a place where you normally would get Yoshi, you'll instead get a Karibo shoe. And, yeah, you ride around in the Karibo shoe instead. Peach also can't slide down slopes, and sadly, the super jump from Super Mario 2, where you crouch for a while until you start flashing, isn't in the game. Next character we have is Toad. Toad plays pretty similarly to Mario and Luigi, even having the same spin jump as them, but his mechanics, like Peach, is the 3-heart system, and he lifts items up over his head like Peach does. He moves faster than Peach, and you can see here I lifted up this red shoe. This is a Podoboo shoe that can walk across lava. And if you stomp enemies, it makes fireballs come out, so it's a special shoe item. Toad has the same fireball abilities as Peach. The ice ball works the same. You can see here, Toad throws this boomerang when you have the suit, and it flies all around, and you can keep it on the screen, but you can only throw one at a time. The Super Leaf and the Tanuki suit let Toad do a double jump. Though you can't do it with the spin jump. He can also fly, just like all the other power-ups do. The fifth playable character from the original Super Mario Bros. X is Link. Particularly this Link from Zelda 2. His movement momentum is kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, where the longer you are running forward on a straightaway, Link will pick up a really high speed. You can see here I turned into a fairy because I'm using one of his power-ups. He doesn't get the ability to ride Yoshi or a shoe. Instead, any eggs he finds will contain hearts, which will restore one of his 3 hearts. Says he uses the same heart system as Toad and Peach. Here's Link's power-ups. When he picks them up, you hear that noise. The Fire Flower gives Link the Fire Spell, the same kind of one he had in Zelda 2. I can swing his sword, I can stab while crouching, and I can perform the up stab and the down stab, just like in Zelda 2. But yeah, the Fire Flower gives him fireballs. The Ice Flower lets him shoot snowballs, which kind of reminds me of when you could shoot fireballs and snowballs in Link the Faces of Evil on the CDI. The Super Leaf gives Link a blue tunic, and he gains the fairy magic, which allows him to fly into the air a bit. Strangely, when he climbs, he'll turn into a fairy and climb up and down vines instead of climbing them. That's even if you don't have the fairy magic. And he can fly if you get a running start. The black pendant replaces the Hammer Brothers suit. It gives Link the sword beam. Now whenever Link, Peach, or Toad take a hit, they'll lose a heart as well as whatever power-up they currently have. And then the Tanuki suit equivalent gives him both the fairy magic and the ability to turn into an Armos statue. Our next character is Mega Man, who, yeah, he functions a lot like he did in other Mega Man games. You can charge the Mega Buster and fire off a charge shot, and he can slide, and he has his jumping and shooting abilities. You'll see here I actually can open up his weapons meter. Each of the Mario power-ups will give Mega Man a different weapon. The Fire Flower gives him Atomic Fire, which lets him shoot fireballs. But you can't charge him up and shoot them like you could when you got Heat Man's version in Mega Man 2. The Ice Flower gives him Cold Man's Ice Wall, which in this game makes him shoot blocks of ice. The Super Leaf gives him Rolling Cutter, which makes him shoot out boomerangs, kind of like the ones Toad shoots in his Hammer Brothers suit. Although Mega Man can fire up to 4 of them, or at least until he has enough weapon energy. Yeah, to fill up your weapon energy, you have to pick up another one of the same power-up. The Hammer Brothers suit gives Mega Man the top spin, although instead of spinning, Mega Man shoots out a Buzzy Beetle shell, which can hurt him too, as you saw. But as you can see, Mega Man has an energy meter and can take multiple hits. You get energy back by collecting mushrooms. The Tanuki suit gives him the Rush Jet, which fires off this large jet object that you can stand and ride on top of. It doesn't hurt you to touch the fire, but it can also block off pipes and doors, so you gotta be a bit careful with it. Yeah. Mega Man is also one of the characters that can use the Karibo shoe instead of Yoshi. So if I go in this room and hit the block with the Ice Yoshi in it, you'll see it gives me a Karibo shoe, and Mega Man can ride around in this. Funny enough, if you lose the shoe, Mega Man still takes a hit when he loses it. Next up we have Wario. Wario plays kind of like Mario and Luigi do with the reserve item system, as well as his jumping and things. His power-ups are the same as them, but he has a couple other abilities. Alt Jump will make him do his ground pound when he has a power-up, and Alt Fire makes him do his shoulder tackle, which makes him pick up incredible speed in this game. All his power-ups basically function as you'd expect them to, except Wario throws out big fireballs. He's got bigger ice balls. I think Wario actually has less of a running time needed to fly. You can probably demonstrate it here in the palace in this room. Yeah, you'll see there I could already fly. You'll see how when he runs, he'll raise his arm up in the air. That's when he can fly. And he can swing the tail just like any other character. The Hammer Brothers suit lets him throw hammers. And the Tanuki suit lets him fly, float, and turn into a Wario version of the Mario statue. Which is kind of funny. Amusingly enough, Wario can ride Yoshi. Which is also kind of funny. Our next playable character is Bowser. Bowser can run, jump. I don't think he can slide down slopes. You know, yes he can. And he has this thing where he punches. I think he can actually grab enemies and convert them to his side and make them work for him. So he can throw enemies at other enemies in that way. Fire Flower lets him shoot out flames when he punches. The Ice Flower makes him blue and he shoots out blocks of ice when he punches. The Super Leaf makes Bowser green. I think he can jump higher. Yeah. And he floats down. Hammer Brothers suit makes Bowser this gray color, and he throws hammers. He'll throw 3 hammers at a time with every punch. And the Tanuki suit gives him this color, which lets him float. Although I don't see what else it does. I'm not sure how this differs from his leaf power. I'm not familiar with every character yet. We're coming up to some of the characters that I won't have any idea what some of them do. Yeah, I can go in here. If I hit this block. Bowser can also ride Yoshi. Or can he? Yeah, I won't let him jump on Yoshi. Yeah, Bowser can make Yoshi appear, but he can't ride him. Now we come up to one of the characters I don't understand at all. This is Klonoa. For some reason he has this thing where he fires this attack, but yeah, it's just like a close-range blast and he can float in the air. And that's about all I know he can do. His power-ups don't seem to do anything except change what color he is. Yeah, I think this lets him pick up and throw enemies. Like I said, all his power-ups just seem to make him change colors. I can float down with the Super Leaf. So there's something. I think I can fly if I get a running start. I could try it. Alright, flies upward. Can he ride Yoshi? Let's find out. Nope, gives him a Karibo shoe to ride. You can see what the others do. Hammer Brothers suit gives him this this outfit, but again, doesn't seem to change his appearance. He can statue up, although what he turns into a statue of, I have no idea. Our next character is a little odd. This is Ninja Bomberman. You can see I can throw bombs, and if I double jump, he drops a bomb. Fire Flower makes him shoot fireballs instead of bombs. The Ice Flower does the same thing. He shoots ice flower. Let's see, can he fly with the Super Leaf? No, he just sort of floats. Although I think that floating is normal for him. This character's also a little broken because when you take a hit, the level restarts, and you don't lose a life, and the music just stops. And you just keep doing that until you beat the level, so the character's kind of broken. Alright, the statue doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah. So I probably won't be playing as this character much, simply because of the broken mechanics that make a level unlosable. Next we have Rosalina herself. What's funny is that there's another Rosalina sprite here in the Star Palace. And as for what this character does, I know she can float. I can jump and do a double jump and float. I think that's one of her basic abilities. It's not related to power-ups. Gulf Fire makes me throw these bombs up because I have the Hammer Brothers suit power-up. Fire Flowers lets her shoot fireballs from her wand. She can also throw them similar to the way Peach does. Ice Flowers do the same thing. Super Leaf, which I think lets you fly. Get a running start and then jump. Nope, not quite. Let's see if she can ride Yoshi. Nope, she rides a Karibo shoe just like Peach. Yeah, she has a double jump and like floats in the air like downward slowly. Kind of like having the Raccoon Leaf. The Hammer Brothers suit gives her the bombs that, when she throws them, they hover in the air rather than move around, and enemies that touch them will get blown up. Then the Tanuki suit turns her into a statue and gives her the same, I guess, floating thing that the Super Leaf gave her. Whatever that might have been, because I can't get her to fly. Okay, I can get her to super jump when I get a running start. Our next character is Snake from the Metal Gear series. He kind of plays like Link. I'll show off this. He can, on straightaways, he gets the same super speed boost as Link. Also, like Link, he doesn't get Yoshi, he just gets hearts, which, if he has no power-up, will give him grenades. Yeah, Snake doesn't use hearts like Link or any other character that has health like that. Instead, he uses the same power-up system as Mario and Luigi, where if he takes a hit, he'll lose his power-up, and if he's hit without a power-up, he loses a life. But at the same time, you don't get a reserve item. And pressing the standard fire button makes him punch, and you can punch while crouching, but you can't really do an up stab or a down stab like Link can. And he can't lift and throw enemies. That's a problem that a lot of characters have. They can pick up and throw certain enemies like Mario 2, Shy Guys and such, but Snake and Link can't do it, and a couple other characters can't do it either. Anyways, let's look at Snake's equipment, which you use with the Alt Fire button. C4 makes him drop this bomb, and then you press it again to detonate it. The MK-22 dart gun he gets from Ice Flower, which shoots out that slow-moving bullet that will put enemies to sleep if it hits them. The Super Leaf gives Snake athletic armor, which makes him be able to jump higher, and he can actually bounce on springs, since he can't normally bounce on springs. A lot of the levels that require a lot of heavy platforming are unclearable as Snake, because he's not able to make a lot of the jumps, unless he has this armor. It doesn't let him float down or anything, it just puts his jumping ability on par with other characters. The Hammer Brothers suit gives him grenades, so he throws out the grenade-type weapons like Peach and Rosalina do. Funny enough, they bounce off of enemies. You have to hit them with the explosion itself in order to damage them. Lastly, he gets the stealth box, where you use it and he'll hide in a box. Because Snake gets his stealth system from Metal Gear in this, where enemies that move left and right, like Goombas, Koopas, Shy Guys, Spinies, and the like, will all have a cone of vision when you're playing as Snake, and if they see Snake, the camo meter on the top right goes down to 0, and then more enemies of that same kind that saw you will start spawning. Flying enemies in particular can be a problem, since they will spawn flying enemies that will fly after Snake and try to get him, and Snake can't take many hits. Link, Snake, and a few other characters also get rupees instead of coins. I think I just made him do something. 1 second. I think I'm making Snake do something in the air. I want to find out what it is. He keeps changing in the air, but into what? Maybe it's a glitch in regards to how Link is supposed to become a fairy, since Snake feels like a kind of a lesser Link. And they added Zelda as a playable character. You can get the different power-ups as her. She can jump, she can do spin jumps, surprisingly enough. She shoots green fireballs, so I'm guessing her template was originally Luigi's. For some reason, you can play the Ocarina with the Alt Fire button. When it shows Zelda's face, I'm guessing it plays Zelda's Lullaby. You play it the first time, and it sets up that warp point. And the second time you play it, you warp to that warp point. Let's see, can she float? Not really. She can spin jump. Again, I'm not too familiar with some of the characters. Yeah, I think some power-ups will change the Ocarina and its effect. The Ice Flower doesn't change its effect. The Super Leaf does, and it gives Zelda Raccoon Tail to swing at enemies, and she can fly, I think. If she's templated off Luigi, she should be able to. Yeah. Since she's a template of Luigi, she can also ride Yoshi. The music changes to Saria's song, although what it actually does I have yet to figure out. Yeah, Zelda can ride Yoshi. Let's check out the rest of her power-ups. The Hammer Brothers suit makes Zelda look like this, and she can throw hammers. She also has Saria's song. And the Tanuki suit also gives her Saria's song, as well as the statue form. Though quite what she becomes a statue of, I'm not sure. I think that's supposed to be an Armos from one of the Zelda games, although which one? Okay, I think I know what Saria's song does now. It will take a picture of wherever items and enemies are, like Yoshi, and then when you play it again, it will reset them to that point. So now I know that. Yeah, this next character is a bit of an oddity to me. This character is called Captain Broadsword. It's some one-eyed umbrella guy. I don't know what he's supposed to be. Let's see, the Fire Flower gives him this headdress that he wears, and his sword is fiery. He can upstab and downstab, and his downstab gives him this, like, launch down. And I'm not totally familiar with this character at all. The Ice Flower gives him an ice sword, and much of the same stuff. Let's see, the Super Leaf gives him this hat, and then he can float. The Hammer Brothers suit gives him a spiked helmet. He also uses the same reserve system as Mario and Luigi. Oh, and he can throw a spinning blade boomerang. And the Tanuki suit makes him a statue. But yeah, I think this is supposed to be an original character, since I've never seen him in any game before, and the only information I could find on him looking him up is that he's from Super Mario Bros. X2. Can Uncle Broadsword ride Yoshi? Yes, he can, apparently. The next character I'm familiar with is Samus from the Metroid series. You pick up hearts for health, which are her energy tank. Though for some reason, Samus only has 2 energy tanks instead of, like, say, 3, and getting hit makes her lose a whole energy tank. She doesn't get a Yoshi or a shoe, instead she gets hearts for increasing her energy. Unlike Link and other characters, collecting power-ups will not actually give her energy back. Instead, you have to collect hearts. Luckily, enemies can drop hearts and rupees, since Samus uses the same system as Link and Snake. Yeah. We didn't get to hear that sound in my Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer, since it didn't play when I picked up items as Samus. But yeah, you get regular missiles with the Fire Flower, and you switch into the Varia suit. The Ice Flower gives Samus this blue suit, and you get the Ice Beam with it. The Super Leaf gives her the Gravity suit, and you can perform 5 mid-air jumps using the Space Jump. You can see she still has the shorter beam, though. I should show this off. You can hit down, and Samus goes into a ball. Then when you push fire, you'll drop bombs. And then you hit down to come back out of ball form. The Hammer Brother medallion, since it uses the same template as Link, gives her super missiles, as well as this black power suit. Bombs are unchanged in any suit. Bombs are actually real strong, because they can kill most enemies that Samus's other weapons may not. Lastly, the Tanuki suit gives her the gravity suit again, but you get a longer beam. That's about the only difference I could find, since Samus doesn't appear to turn into a statue no matter what I do. Oh, you also get the Spring Ball, so that's what it is. The only power-up in the game that lets Samus jump while in ball form. So you get the Spring Ball as well as the Space Jump, and the longer beam. So yeah, and our next playthrough is going to be Super Mario Bros. X2, where I'm going to go through the Invasion 2 campaign. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.